Good morning, Muscatine. I hope that you are all getting started off right on this Monday morning. Thank you for joining the show, Muscatine Today. I am excited about our guest to get some really great information about our muskies here, and also to share with you a couple fun facts this morning. Today, for your national holidays, it's National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, Clean Off Your Desk Day, and also National Milk Day. So I am a milk lover, and it just appalls me when people say that they don't like milk, because we go through like several gallons of milk a week at our house. We are milk lovers. But I hope that you all find a way to celebrate one of those, whether it be Milk Day or get your desk cleaned off, or to just bring that awareness to something very serious like human trafficking. I'm sure you can find a lot of information today out there to make yourself more aware of what's going on. Also, our friends at Lutheran Living sponsor every day This Day in History. And I was kind of looking around at some of the things that happened on January 11th in history, and found the Grand Canyon actually. So on this day in 1908, Roosevelt actually declared it a national monument. So no one after that time could touch the Grand Canyon or make any changes. So pretty cool stuff. And I actually found a cool video that shows some really great shots of our Grand Canyon. I've never been there in person. I feel like I need to definitely make the trip, especially after seeing this video and being reminded of how beautiful it is. So let's enjoy that together for a moment.
There is a mile-deep desert cathedral that stretches across the American Southwest, where water bursts forth from bare, naked rock to form magical oases and turquoise-colored pools, where the contours and the curves of the canyon walls bend your perspective and your senses, where the defining elements of this space, water and rock, silence and starlight, and the purest.
Well, yeah, one of my guests the other day, she was
combined with the footprints of the people who continue to call this land their home, come together in a way that transcends geology and approaches what can best be described as art.
all right. Well, so how beautiful is that? It makes you definitely want to visit the Grand Canyon. But so 1908 is when Roosevelt declared that it would be a national monument and that we no longer could make changes. Just kind of let it be in its natural state. So the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is our friend Joe Wieskamp from our Hawkeye. He was a Muskie. I think we decided 2018 is when he graduated as a Muskie and started playing for the Hawkeyes. And how cool is it, all of the accomplishments that he's definitely making Muscatine proud for sure. So I saw over the weekend that he had a pretty cool thing happen. So I think we actually have an image of this as well. But over the weekend, Joe actually got 1,000 career points. So pretty cool stuff for a local Muscatine celebrity. He was the 50th Hawkeye to accomplish this. So that's some pretty cool stuff. So congratulations to Joe. You definitely make us proud all the time here in Muscatine. So keep doing what you do. Congratulations. So that kind of brings us right into my guest for the day. Tom Ulses is joining us this morning. Thank you so much for popping in. We are going to be talking everything from transitioning into second semester to the spectator updates to the stadium. So lots of stuff to cover with everybody today. So how is second semester? Full swing. We're kind of getting into things. How's everything going at Muscatine?
Yep, really good. We're just coming to the end of the first semester, so this
Yep.
Friday will be the last day of the first semester, and then next Tuesday, students will start their second semester schedules. So it's kind of stressful,
Yes.
but yet exciting for everybody as they get back in the routine from Christmas break and then
Yep.
get ready for second semester.
Awesome. So we're back as far as in school for people who don't have kiddos in school. The kids are back in person right now, and that seems to be going pretty well for you guys.
Yeah, going well. We'll be doing something a little different second semester as far as the schedules go. At the high school, we have A days and B days, and
Gotcha. Yep.
second semester, what will change is it'll just be a continued rotation, whereas now A days are Mondays and Wednesdays, and then every other Friday, and then B days have Tuesdays and Thursdays. It'll just continue on.
It's just going to be a rotating.
Yeah, we'll start with A day on Tuesday, the 19th, when we start, and then it'll just go from there.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the spectators and those. I know that that's like a hot subject because everybody wants to be there to support the kids, but we also at the same time want to make sure that we keep the kids safe and the community safe. So what kind of things have changed, and what right now are the kind of rules as far as spectators at some of those sporting events for our Muskies?
Well, the guidelines changed last Thursday, late in the afternoon. Governor Reynolds came out with their latest proclamation. So we finished the week with Friday with what we were doing, which was 2 tickets per rostered player. So starting tomorrow night, we'll be expanding that a little bit. So there will be, the governor's proclamation was unlimited. Anybody can come as long as you can space them out, and then everybody's supposed to be in mask.
Sure.
The Mississippi Athletic Conference superintendents talked on Friday morning, and then they decided to go with 2 tickets for our visiting teams, and then home teams can do what they feel they're able to fit in their gym, up to 30% of the capacity of whatever section or area you're using in your gymnasium. So we're blessed in Muscatine with a really large gymnasium, probably the largest in the conference. So later today I'll be kind of finalizing the calculations. So we'll have a set number of tickets for our players, and then there'll be a bank for the community members, because that's some of the people that have been calling and wondering who'd like to come, but they're not connected officially to any of the players. So we'll be working those details out, and like how many can we just allocate for the students, and this will vary a little bit depending on what type of event that we have, because something like tonight we have a 9th grade girls basketball game going on, so we're not doing tickets or worrying about it all, because I mean realistically we don't have a lot of people that would come to that game, so we're not, so they'd be able to. Next Tuesday the 19th we're hosting a wrestling quad actually, so we'll have 3 teams, and we'll adjust the numbers based on how many kiddos we have coming. So we'll be working through those details, but it's exciting that we can open it up a little more, but we still have to be really careful in regards to how we go about doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody wants to come and support them, but we have to make sure that we do it the right way so that we don't end up back where we started. You know, we don't want to go backwards. So definitely making sure that you guys, you know, be patient, I guess, is what I want to say, is, you know, be patient through the process, and let the school make the best decisions that they can. 'Cause, I mean, this is all new. So it's like you're just kind of making the best decision with the knowledge that you have. So
yeah, and it will continue. It continues to evolve. I mean, and this is what we thought would happen. Like the winter, like November wouldn't necessarily look the same as September did. January, I mean, things will continue to evolve. I mean, I think this is going to be the policy for the rest of the winter season. So we'll be working through that. We've got about 6 to 7 weeks left in our winter sports, so about halfway through.
Yeah, so even if you can't watch in person, you know, I know it's fun to go to the games and we always want to, you know, support them in that way. It's cool to have a big crowd, but Discover Muscatine, Pearl City Media does broadcast the games for you all, so you can watch those. Sporting events. We try to do as many as we can. Obviously, sometimes there are sporting events at the same time. So, you know, if we have a swim meet and a basketball game or a bowling tournament, things like that, there have to be choices made. But obviously, we try to at least get those games out for the people who aren't able to attend in person, so you can still support your kiddo from afar. It's been pretty cool because we've actually had people from different states, you know, like who have a niece or nephew or something on the team and have been able, or a grandma and grandpa that maybe they're snowbirds and they, you know, fly off for the winter and have been able to watch. So that's been a really cool thing. So find those games and sporting events online too if you're not able to come in person.
Yeah, and a couple cool things off of that, Ashley, is so we hosted Iowa City High on December 21st before Christmas break. Last week I received a letter from a City High grandmother who had watched the broadcast, watched the stream, and she was just extremely complimentary that we had announcers for the stream, and the announcers actually were using the names of the visiting players and not just doing the home stuff. So she said we just did an excellent job with that. So
great.
Kudos to the announce team for that. And then last Thursday, I mean, we had a really cool event. We were able to Discover Muscatine broadcast our wrestling triangular, which was really neat, and the announcers did a great job. Joel Crossauer is an ex-wrestler. Wade McLeod is a very accomplished wrestler, and they did a great job with that. And special thing that happened right at the end of that match, or that night, Tim Nimley got his 100th career win. So that was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure it's cool for him to have that on video too. You know, to be able to have later on. But yeah, you never know when something. Well, I mean, you can kind of predict when things like that are going to happen in wrestling, but it's cool for people, you know, near and far to be able to take part in that, and especially with the limitations as far as tickets. I think a lot of families have found that that's kind of the way to go, at least to be able to watch and talk about the game afterwards with their kiddo. So. And
I've got one more shout out also. Last Tuesday, January 5th, Noah Miller, one of our bowlers, had a 300 game.
Oh my gosh.
As the bowling team was against Davenport Central, and he bowled a 300 in one of his games.
Awesome.
So that's pretty cool for him.
We have got some really talented kids. It's amazing the things that they accomplish, and it's always exciting, you know, just like Joe, to see where they go after this too, and how far they take their talents and outside of Muscatine even. So pretty cool. Good job, you guys. It was fun being able to do that first bowling tournament, and like you said, the wrestling meet. I think, like everything else, it's kind of gotten everybody out of our shell a little bit, out of the box, and trying new things. And so, I mean, these might be things that, you know, we'll continue to cover even after, you know, this pandemic is over. So it's been cool, and I know that there have been families that have really appreciated all of that support. But it's good to hear that things are going to expand a little bit. I'm sure people are excited. How will they find out exactly what you guys decide as far as you know, the next couple days when you make some of those determinations on who can come?
We will be putting it out on social media, all of our social media channels. We'll be emailing it out throughout the district through those methods. I was going to ask you if maybe you could say a word tomorrow if I sent you all the correct information. If I could, just trying to hit as many people as possible, and then, because a lot of times we field phone calls also from people calling in, and we'll be able to actually tell them something more defined now. So.
Yeah, so we'll let you know. Tom will shoot us a message and let us know exactly what is decided, and I can share that with y'all tomorrow as well. So that's cool. So something else exciting I want to talk about before we end the show today is the stadium. We talked about it, I don't know, a couple months ago now. It seems like, holy cow, it wasn't that long ago, but it was a couple months ago when we kind of sat down and kind of announced that, you know, they came through, or not Kent, sorry, Stanley Foundation had come through.
Roy Carver Charitable Trust.
Oh my gosh, somebody did. Oh my gosh, Roy Carver, sorry, Charitable Trust came through, and there was some other donations that we were starting to look at as well. What's the scoop with that?
So right now we've been working on all the behind the scenes stuff that has to take place in order to ultimately get the project to bid and have contractors bid on the different parts of it, and then have all of those things approved so that we will be able to begin work in May, or mid to late May, because that's our target. So Jeff Miller, our district facilities director, and myself have talked to a lot of different vendors in regards to the products that we're going to be using, and then also we're working with Leggett Architects, Jeff Sandberg, so that he can kind of work through all the things that we'll need to have in place in order to put it out to bid and then review bids, open up bids, and all those kind of things. So a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. You can't just start digging in. There's a lot of planning that goes with it, a lot of decisions to be made, and then, yeah, I mean, there are going to be several different companies that you'll work with to get the whole project done. But I think you sent a picture, I think Chris found a picture of kind of the mock-up, if we can pull that up. It's pretty cool to see what it could look like and how cool that's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to look, I mean, and it will be a work in progress a little bit. It's going to take some patience, so hopefully by the time we get to the end of August, I mean, the whole area is going to look amazing and totally different. The picture that you see on the screen is like a mock-up from one of our turf vendors as to what it potentially would look like with the artificial turf. I mean, the long jump area, runway, and then the high jump areas will be inside the track as well. So, and then the track will be resurfaced as part of this process as well. So
nice. Yep. And we kind of talked about this before, but this is huge for everyone. It's not just a football field. You know, it's for the band, it's for the dancers, it's for, you know, the track teams, it's for, like you said, even maybe community events in the future. So the turf really changes things as far as what can happen in this area.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. We're looking, as we talk to vendors and different turf providers, that's some of the information that we take into consideration as far as what kind of turf do you put on the field, and that some of it relates to what are you going to do on the field. And we're excited about, for our youth football players, for our marching band members, PE classes, just all these different groups that will be able to use this improved facility. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and it's going to be so nice for spectators to come and see, and it's going to be something that we can be proud of, to have people from out of town come and visit for games. And like you said, the marching band, the competitions that that take place there, and that people come from all over for those. I mean, it's huge. So it's very cool to see this all actually, like, the ball's really rolling now, and plans are coming through. So when are you expecting to kind of get started as far as the actual physical stuff? Like, when will the planning kind of be, or do you even know? Like, when will the planning be over and we're actually gonna, the bids are going out and we choose people, and there's so many moving parts to this.
Yeah, and the bid process, we were able to, one of the earliest bids that will go out, actually, and this is going to happen in the next couple weeks really, is for the bleachers and press box, because that's the kind of the area that we're the most concerned about as far as the timeline.
Sure.
So we really pushed the architects to get everything together on that so we could get that out, because of just the variables of steel and getting all that and how that's impacted, because with all these moving parts, we're trying to line everything up so that by late May, we're really able to start doing work.
Yeah.
And you can't start doing work if you haven't done all the background. So press box, bleachers, probably within about a month or so, month and a half will be when the artificial turf bid goes out, and then we'll have the resurfacing of the track bid, so all these different parts as well. I know Chris is extremely excited about the new press box.
Yes.
I think he was celebrating off camera.
He was,
actually.
yeah.
So, and last week we kind of okayed a schematic of the press box, and I think it's going to be, for those people lucky enough to get into the press box at different times, it's going to feel totally different.
Right.
And the space is going to be so vastly improved.
Yeah.
It'll be incredible.
Yeah, well, I think you mentioned this last time, but I mean, that stadium, it's been basically the same since.
Yeah, most of it is original to 1985. So the bleachers themselves will have a totally, I think, different feel to them.
Yeah.
They will be something that it's actually pretty nice for us is how we do things with the different sections that are in the current bleachers. The new bleachers will just be one big section in essence. There'll be increased ADA handicap accessible spots in the front section, so there's going to be, I think, around 25 spots. It fits with what the code is for the size of the bleachers. Down in front of the bleachers, down on ground level, there will be a walkway. And then there'll be a fence that separates the walkway from the track, so people can't just walk out. But that'll be totally different than what's been there before. So, but it's going to be exciting.
That is exciting. It's exciting to even think about. Yeah, I know the team has been pretty excited about the new press box, like you said. It's a small confined spot, and I mean, since 1985, I'm sure they weren't broadcasting games live over, social media and stuff then. So those things weren't even thought about, like having that many people up there. And so it is very cool. and we are very excited at Pearl City Media about this as well. So, but what else? I mean, what else do you have? Any other updates before we?
I've got a couple more things I'd like to update you on, and these could lead to, if you choose to, like future guests down the road, because there's people that know more than I do about these specifics. So one of the things that our school on the academic side has been working on in the last month and a half is defining this process that we're calling Portrait of a Graduate. So this administration, our counselors, our teaching staff, we've sought input from the public, and we're defining that Muscatine High School graduate. What is that graduate going to look like? And then changing and evolving some of the requirements and competencies and things that we do in our school programming. So the Muscatine Community School District School Board is continuing to consider. I think they're talking about some parts of it tonight. So Terry Hoganson, our principal, and some of our guidance counselors are some of the key players with that can definitely continue to share information about that. And
that's exciting.
It is, and I think it's really looking up for our students as we think about how education is continuing to evolve and what our students can do and what should they really also be able to do, and what do we want them to be able to do as they graduate from Muscatine High School and then move into and be prepared to move into the next phase of their life, whether that is a two-year programming, 4-year college, or going into the workforce, and what kind of skills, because there are a lot of opportunities for our students just on all of those levels, and we can't just be boxed into thinking everybody's going to do the same thing. When we have 350 to 400 graduates every year, and they're 350 to 400 different people. Not everybody's the same. So
and everybody has their own talents and that niche that they might want to go and like you said, maybe it's trade school or it could be anything. So that's very cool that you guys are actually like looking into that more and giving them more opportunities to kind of do what they want to do.
And then Saturday this past weekend, our robotics team had their kickoff and found out what their competition is going to be like this year. So Chris Hoffman, some of our other advisors who work with our students to participate in robotics, and typically they will build a robot based on the specs that they're given from the national organization, and then they'll go to competitions and compete with other schools. And it's kind of like, the competition kind of looks like one of those things you would see on TLC or something like that, or Robots Gone Wild type thing. But the competition is going to evolve a little bit because of COVID this year, but it's a great learning opportunity for our students that are involved. And
it amazes me, the things that they can do and the programming behind it, and it's crazy. If you guys haven't seen in the past some of the things that they've done, even on the high school level, the things that the ideas they come up with and the programming, and it's crazy, the mechanics behind these robots that they make.
And it's an incredible learning opportunity for the kids because there's so many aspects to it that they can, no matter what if students that get involved with it, no matter what their kind of talent or passions are, they just kind of continue to grow and evolve, and it's wonderful for them. Very
cool stuff. And it's amazing to see all of the different opportunities that our Muskies have, to whether it's in the arts or sports or whatever. There are a lot of different opportunities for them to really dig into their passions and be a part of a group or a team. So very cool. All right. Well, that was a lot of information. I do think that we need to schedule a time to talk more about that portrait of a graduate thing. It's very cool, and I think more around the world, people are kind of realizing, not only, we were talking with the dance team actually when they were on here, a couple of them, one of the girls was like, I'm not really sure yet what I want to be when I grow up. And I was saying, it's crazy that we have this idea that at 18, 17 for some people, they need to know exactly what they want to do in life, and to expect that that's the norm, you know, and that they should do that is nutso, you know, like they're 17 or 18. So it's cool to realize that some of them won't be ready to make that 4-year step, or, you know, have different ideas of what they want to do with life, because we're all different, that's for sure. So, well, thank you so much for coming on. I do have to ask you to do what's in the box.
Oh, exciting.
Obviously,
yes, of
before
course.
before you leave. So Toyota of Muscatine, they sponsor What's in the Box, and we'll get this bad boy up here for you. And you'll have to close your eyes, because otherwise you'll be able to see and be a cheater.
Okay.
We don't want cheaters on the Muscatine Today show. So, all right, once they get set here, we will get started. So you remember how to play,
I know,
obviously.
I
You're
know.
a
It
pro.
was the highlight of my fall, actually, was playing What's in the Box.
All right.
Okay, just let me know when we're ready.
All right, I think we're ready. So you can go ahead and dig in there and then open those fronts for us so that we can see. There we go.
So I've got a small bowl, I think,
Yep.
and then feels like, they feel kind of like peanut M&Ms, but I bet that's not what they are.
So think about, if you paid attention, what day it is.
Okay, so we had, I was paying it, it's not milk, I can tell
It's
that.
not milk, but it has something to do with that, possibly.
Milk chocolate?
What kind of candy?
I feel almost like, it's
I'm
the tip
making
of
you
my
get
tongue.
super.
Yeah,
What could it be?
just can't.
I know. How do you? Yeah.
Milk duds?
Yes.
It was like on the tip of my tongue. And
Yes.
I couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember. Yep. Milk duds. Clever, clever, clever. Well, thank you again. I appreciate you coming on and giving us all these updates. I know that we all are excited for the stadium, and I knew that people would want to hear where you are in that process. That's exciting stuff, and we'll have to keep having you on every once in a while so that we can make sure we stay up to date on all the cool stuff happening with that.
Cool stuff going on, yep.
Lots of cool stuff coming up. So thanks again for coming on.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody. So that was Tom, and an update on our Muskies. And it's amazing to hear about all the things that are going on, not only with the stadium, but, you know, second semester is almost getting started. And gosh, it's crazy to think that we're in January and second semester of school, but here we are. So I appreciate you all joining. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, CBI, Lutheran Living, Toyota of Muscatine, and Hy-Vee. I want to switch over to the aisle cam for just a moment before we close out the show. There is your aisle cam. I thought you all should start getting kind of ready and prepared, because Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So our floral department here at Hy-Vee, first of all, they're amazing. One of my favorite parts of having the show here is being able to get some of those items and bring them over for the set. So lots of cool things going on. They do have some Valentine's Day specials. I'm going to update you guys on a couple of those every day leading up so that you guys can get prepared, okay? I know that most of us don't think about this until the week of, but I was told by the floral department that they will have some early bird specials. So if you're planning on buying something from the floral department for your Valentine, then I hope that you will consider using one of those early bird specials. So those should be coming out later this week, and I'll keep you updated on that. But seriously, they have a book of things that you can choose from if they're not in the cabinet. If you're taking part in one of those early bird specials. There's several different options for you here, and I don't want any of you guys to be unprepared for the big day and be that person coming out on Valentine's Day to try to figure out what the heck you're gonna take home. So be an early bird. You know what they say, early bird gets the worm, right? So make sure that you think about that. I mean, we're already mid-January, so I'll keep reminding you until Valentine's Day. But thank you again for joining. Thank you so much to our sponsors, and we will see you tomorrow. But until then, remember that kindness is free. So spread that stuff wherever you go.
TJ Deere here at Toyota Muscatine, and this is what it feels like to have a brand new Toyota.
It's the new car smell.
It's the new stories.
It's the new adventure.
It's the memories.
Come and see us for your 2020 Toyota.